I have the other ones available in there.
Wait.
But
So, Luke, what are you drinking today?
Coca-Cola.
Morning on the way to the gym and set my ukulele on top of the car and then drove off down the road.
I need a bow after that. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Look at that.
Hojo! I learned my lessons from last night. What a welcome, thank you. I drink the most fruity drink imaginable.
It's laundry day.
it's laundry day.
So you always wear hats with laundry day.
Peter did you a favor, James. I just say, believe it.
So how did you two meet?
Well, there's these places in San Francisco. I think they're called bathhouses.
It's like one of those things where everyone wants to focus on like the big events that happen, but day to day, what we're doing is we're on like one of our draw streams, smoking weed, making comics. It's chill. It's so much fun, and like
Yes. Man, I'm not a YouTuber. I do this because I want to sell comic books. Yes, guys. Woohoo! It is Sunday. This means another episode of A Drink with Brink, where I talk with other indie creators about their hopes and their dreams and their lives, but also their books and their campaigns, because I'm done with mainstream. Mainstream kind of sucks, and indie is where the passion is, guys. So yes, and it's Easter Sunday also, so I can understand that that everyone is busy with other things right now. So if you're watching from the replay, thank you very much. And if you're in the chat, just say hi. If you have questions for the guest today, just drop them in the chat, and let's just have some fun, guys. So even on Easter Sunday, I needed to work. I there's always work, you know. So because when I don't work, I get antsy. I think that's the word, right? Antsy. That you have stuff to do, and so you have to relax, but you can't relax, and then you force yourself to relax, and you can't really relax. So I've been working for Genuine, and so cool things are in the works. We're working on Perfect 10 issue 5 right now, and you can sign up for that campaign. The pre-launch is live. It is linked in the description. So go to the link and sign up. And also the artist edition of Perfect 10, the FundMyComic campaign, is still active, but only for 2 hours. So after 2 hours, it closes. So you can still back. So get on it and share it, please. So okay. I think I've done my intro here. I don't have much to say besides hi to Mike, fan of JDN, Genuine and Dark Sides Comics. He says, Happy Easter Sunday, Dave. Congrats on the Artist Edition closeout stream. It was fun. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. Thank you for being there. I'll replay and comment on what I missed. Russ's Conan looks worthy of creator Howard. All right. We're going to talk about that. Let me see. And the link to today's campaign is pinned in the chat. Go check it out. And Ryu, welcome, Ryu Arts and Gaming. So you have Ryu novels, and you have Ryu Arts, and you have Ryu Gaming. Ryu is very busy. So welcome, Ryu. Nice to see you today. All right, guys, it's time for the guest. Share out this stream, by the way. It's time for the guest. Wonderful guest, returning guest, amazing artist, amazing writer. I think you all know him. So let's bring him on. Let's have a chat with the wonderful Mr. Russ Leach.
I don't know if I ever get applause.
Well, you get here. You get it here.
What a fantastic intro. Thank you very much. Thank you. Your books are fantastic. I just get this in before we start. Absolutely brilliant. It's a real breath of fresh air to have cracking books. I've bought every one of them.
Thank you.
And that black and white edition you've got at the moment, I've spoken to. Is it? Who's doing that with you? It's
RJ.
RJ, that's it. I've spoken to RJ, and that's definitely something we're going to be doing with the Cole book. I'm definitely going to be bringing that out.
Really?
So what you've done has inspired me. It's very, very good. I'm very impressed. Very impressed with what RJ's producing as well.
Yeah. Really
so,
cool.
Yeah, definitely. And there are other things, other black and white things in the works, definitely. So, yeah, wow. Well done. Thank you, Dave. And your streams as well. Wow. So you've really, really, really done so much good stuff. Thank you. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you, sir. Regarding the hardcover editions, when you because Critical Blast now has their publishing branch basically, so it goes through that, and I gotta say it's just hassle free, man. You just deliver them the files, and they do everything for you.
Yeah, I've spoken to them about it over what they're going to do, what the service they'll provide, and it's like it's a no-brainer. Get it out there.
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah,
it's fantastic, and your art style also lends itself very well for the black and white. You have a lot of
I hope so.
Yes,
I like to put in that extra bit of work. And I mean, the Only Death Can Save Us stuff was a bit more open and a bit simpler, but the stuff we're doing for Cole. The Robert E. Howard book it's a lot more in depth, and as we move forward, we're going to be doing more black and white work. So this time round, I wanted a product that I could get out that would be color, so that I could make everyone happy. It's got that Bronze Age color feel, very sort of muted color range, palette, and very simple colors. And it's $25. It's more than 100 pages, probably 110 plus.
Wow.
And you get the original story by the prose by Robert E. Howard as well. And so I wanted it as that kind of package. But as we move forward, we're going to dive into black and white. So,
all right. Okay, Russ. I see you are drinking something. So this is the question I need to ask. What is it? What are you drinking?
It's a drink with Brink. So I thought I needed to have a drink, and it is early in the evening over here.
Okay,
so I went for the gin and tonic instead of the whiskey, Leroy.
Whoa, gin and tonic.
Yeah, gin and tonic. But later on, the whiskey will come out.
All right. That's some heavy stuff. Slowly building things up. So, Jens, it's gin and tonic, right? So,
a what? No.
Okay, it's not Jens' favorite. It's not Jens' favorite.
Never mind.
All right. Sorry, Jens. Better
Jens
luck
likes
next.
Carrots.
Yeah, I think so. All right. So your last before this one, you had was that Only Death Can Save Us 2?
That's right. Yeah.
Right. So how did that campaign go? Did it go beyond your expectations?
Yeah, I mean, in all fairness, I didn't do an awful lot of shilling for it because of what was going on at the time in my life. So it was difficult to balance stuff, but actually it did really well. I was very, very pleased with that. A lot of people came back for the second book, which is always a good thing, always a very rewarding thing, and people were very pleased with the outcome. The third story's in development now. We should be producing that this year, and that's another one of those black and white things as well. I'm considering doing all 3 books in one black and white product as well. So it did well, and people liked it. It went out to a publisher called New Haven, who go under the moniker of Viking Comics. And so the first 2 books are now available in a different edited version, so they're not like the books that the backers got. And they're available on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, that kind of stuff. And I've also spoken to Randy over at and Luke over at Arrow Comics, and they're potentially looking at going with Diamond. So we may well serialize it again and do it in. I think it would be 9 issues, like a limited run.
Right.
So, yeah.
Oh, exciting.
So lots of different ways to get hold of it. That's the point, isn't it? Yeah, that's what you want.
That's good. That's good, man. Get it out there. Warhammer Nub. Welcome. He says Russ is all right, I guess.
Thank you.
Thank you, Warhammer Nub. Edwin Acevedo. Welcome.
Ah, there's the man. I may be working with him soon. So more on that later.
Oh, exciting. And Leroy is also here. Welcome, Leroy. That's not whiskey, Russ, he says.
No, it's not.
It's not. That's right. Okay, cool. So you said you were working. So right now you're working on the Cull,
Cull
book, right?
Yeah.
But you're also preparing Only Death Can Save Us 3. So you do the writing for. Yeah. You do the writing for Only Death Can Save Us, right?
Yes. I come up with the concept and the sort of the rough direction of the book, and then the writer I work with, Rick, he scripts it out. It's very much a writer's room thing, so we go backwards and forwards with the story. Sure. And his view is that if I don't like it doesn't get done, because it's my concept. So he's there to help me out with the writing and the script. And Rick Hoskin is his name. He's done a lot of video game, Doctor Who, Disney, Superman, Spider-Man. He's been everywhere. So he knows what he's doing.
Oh, wow.
And it's great to have him on board. And he absolutely loves the project. So I originally showed him the first book, and I'd written the whole script. And he said, look, this is really good. Do you mind if I make some suggestions? And he made some suggestions, and they were great. Mostly script dialogue, because I'd already drawn and done the book and lettered the book.
Right.
And then he said, I really like this. This is great. Try this. And I did. And the script was wonderful. Lots of people commented on how great the interaction was between Dee and Chrissy, the two main characters in the book. And it made the whole book more endearing. So on the second book, I obviously went back to Rick, and he said, he'd love to work with me. So we did that, and we're doing the same thing on the third book.
Right.
The third book will be a proper finale. It'll be bonkers.
Okay, this is the last book.
It's the last book in the trilogy. Yeah. There is more after that if we want it. But for the moment, it's going to cap off at the trilogy, and I'll see where Cull goes after that.
Sure. Right. Because writing, that's a lot of work. I happen to know. And then you also do the drawing, right? So you put in a lot of work. So how many pages of artwork can you manage per week or something?
Oh, if I'm not paying my wife any attention,
you shouldn't.
which you shouldn't do. I could probably do 7 pages penciled and inked a week.
Oh, really?
So yeah, but
Then,
I don't.
Then you also
really...
have your free weekends.
Yeah.
Or do you work
yeah,
weekends also?
Yeah, I work sort of 6 days a week because
Okay.
much like you, I get antsy as well if I'm not doing something. But things have changed in life, and I'm not hitting it quite as hard now. But yeah, certainly I can knock out pages quite quickly. But it does depend on the style you're going for. So like the Only Death Can Save Us pages came out pretty quick. The Cull pages have taken longer simply because I've put that much more into them. So they do take a little longer, but that's fine because the product is, it's a different product at the end of the day. But I'm doing other people's work as well at the moment. I'm working on some pages for some other projects, and so
this is also true.
They have to be done. They have to be done in a timely fashion. So.
Wow, this is also true. You did this wonderful like pinup for us for our art book.
I love
and
doing
you also
that.
do.
Thank you.
No, thank you. And you also do like commission work, plus you work actual sequential art, right? For other publishers.
Yeah,
also?
I'm doing a sequential job at the moment, which is 16 pages.
Wow.
I'm fitting that in before I go back on to where we want to go with Cull. We want to take that forward, and I'll be doing that later on in April. Yeah.
Sure.
It's nice to have some money coming in,
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Because you have to produce your book, and then not much comes in, right? You have to run your campaigns, stuff like that.
Yeah, no,
so
we're definitely going the route of drawing the book, having it finished, and then going to the campaign. That's the way we're moving forward with every book we do now. So yeah, you have to wait for your money. So you have to make sure that you've got other work or that you've allotted funds for you to be able to work without money for a period of time.
Yes. Okay, but this does mean that the campaign that we will talk about today, the book for that is finished?
Yeah, it's finished. I think it's the 13th or the 14th of April is the last day of the campaign. And as soon as that shuts, then that's it. We go off to print.
Excellent.
So hopefully within a month later, we'll start shipping books out to people. That's the idea anyway. So it all comes down to the printing process. And we all know nothing's ever guaranteed, but it should be fine. So.
Sure. All right. That's great. So you have a timeline. You have things. That's great. Jolly Green, welcome. Hi, guys. Happy Easter. Happy Easter to you. Leroy asks, does Russ have any Shadow Kingdom pages around that he can show off?
Yeah, I got that. Do you want to see some black and white ones?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Where are we, Cole?
Some originals.
Yeah, I mean, being able to show off the original work in the black and white hardback version.
Right.
I'm really looking forward to seeing that.
But is this digital work or is it?
It's all original. There you go.
Right. Okay.
There you go. This is the original of the cover.
Oh wait! Wow.
And I sold that the other day. Actually, very pleased
really
to have
cool.
sold that. Yeah.
Beautiful.
So yeah, it's all original work.
All right. All right. That's beautiful.
So I'll get this page.
So these are Bristol boards. What kind of paper do you prefer to work on?
Well, I work slightly differently from an awful lot of people in that I came to digital inking first. So that was the first thing I did because I was scared stiff of using a pen and a brush.
Oh.
So I did all the work that I did for Marvel and for Doctor Who Adventures and for Ben 10 was all digital exclusively. And it meant that I got a chance to lean into some kind of style and start developing myself. And it meant that I got to understand how I would spot blacks and stuff like that without worrying about controlling the tools. And then when I did the first Only Death Could Save Us, I wanted to have some original pages for people to buy in the campaign. And I found myself falling in love with doing it traditionally. So now I draw digitally. So I consider, I don't use any of the extra tools. I literally just use the layers and the pencil. And I consider it much like just a digital version of my light box, to be honest with you. and then I print that out on. Here we go. I print that out on lightweight Bristol.
All right.
So there's the blue pencils, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
On lightweight Bristol, and then I ink it by hand.
Okay.
So
the entire layout is digital.
Yep.
Yeah.
The layout on the pencil's digital. Print it out
Yeah.
to blue pencil, and then I render it. So there's not as much detail in the pencils, obviously.
Sure.
And I do all the rendering with the brush and pen.
Yeah. You fill in the details while you're inking. Yeah. That's great, man. Look, these horses also. It's that requires a lot of reference, right?
Horses need reference. Yeah, you need to be able to, yeah, definitely.
Sometimes you see a comic book and then you can tell this is not referenced. Come on, man.
Yeah. So this is where they're crawling through the caverns or the
there's a lot of I can see why you chose this particular style also because it works well with the lighting and the atmosphere.
That's what I wanted to convey. Yeah, good atmosphere and lighting, and then there's some there's some dream sequences where he's going back through what effectively happened in the ages of man before the current Hyborian age, and before Atlantis sank, and some of the terrible dangers that they had to go up against.
Holy shit, look at that.
He's relating all this. This is Brawl, who's relating all this to Cull. And Brawl and Cull are effectively, by their tribe, mortal enemies. But they come together in this and they have a friendship and they become bonded as warriors. And they become fast friends. And Brawl is effectively initiating some memories, like a soul memory almost, of the terrible things that happened in the past, and also relating the fact that there's this shadow kingdom, which is the kingdom of lizard men who are effectively running the world. A bit like now, really.
Yeah. Wow, it's very timely.
Yeah. And so I just had great fun with these pages. So, as well as the action and the intrigue of the other pages, of the sequential pages. So,
look at that, man. That's fantastic. Must be so much fun to come up with these compositions for your page, right?
Yeah. I mean, Randy did a fantastic job of taking the original prose and keeping Howard's words. So this has been done before by Marvel and Dark Horse, but they went off on their own way and they did an interpretation of it. Randy has stuck to the original text.
Yes.
And you actually get the original text on the panels.
Wow.
That's what you get. Robert E. Howard was an incredible wordsmith. So there are going to be a few tongue twisters for you. But if you love reading, if you love sword and sorcery, if you love Robert E. Howard, if you love depth, you're going to love this. And then on top of that, he obviously, wrote out the panels for me and what have you. And on these pages, he said, right, there's 2 panels, but you can do what you want. So I amalgamated them into this kind of dream sequence process. And that's what I did for those. There's several of them in the book. And also all of the chapter breaks are all full page splashes, and the wording is actually in the art. So you get the chapter words, the title, as it were, in the artwork itself. He did a great job. I really enjoyed it. This is my best work so far. Absolutely loved it. We're hoping to move forward with it with another title. This has been picked up by a Brazilian publisher.
All right.
And they're going to republish it. They're going to publish it in Brazil and the Portuguese market in black and white and in colour. It's really nice to see that happening. And
congrats, man. That's awesome.
Thank you. I mean, Brazil is a massive market. Hopefully, touch wood. And they love Robert E. Howard out there. Certainly Red Dragon, who's the publisher, love it. what we're gonna do is once this is done, and sold and moved on. Like I say, I'd really like to do a black and white special edition. Now, obviously, these special editions are expensive books, so that's why I wanted to get the color version out, so that it was a product that everyone could get hold of at a reasonable price. Then I'll go to a black and white special edition, and then the end of this month, I'm going to be starting work on the first of the new stories that we're coming up with. So Cull, like Conan, is public domain. This story, The Shadow Kingdom, is public domain. Now, I don't know if you're aware of them, but there's a publisher called Ablaze in Europe. Who published Conan, public domain Conan work, and also new stories about Conan. And they couldn't put the name Conan on the front cover, and it was called The Sumerian. Right. And effectively, we want to do the same thing with Cull. Titan are doing a Conan magazine at the moment. It's great, really, really good. There's other people that are out there doing the sword and sorcery, but it's not really, there's not a lot of it. And Cull is his own character. He's not just a proto Conan. He's a great character in his own right and has a huge background, huge story elements to him. And so what we want to do is like they did the Sumerian for Conan, we're going to do the Atlantean for Cull. And we're going to come up with our own stories. So Randy will be writing with an eye on, being sure and being compassionate towards the way that Robert E. Howard would write Cull and Brawl. And we're taking them on the road, and they're in disguise, and they're off looking for the rest of the lizards. So that's what we're going to do. So there's going to be tits and dragons. It's going to be great fun. All right?
Tits and dragons.
Tits and dragons, witches, werewolves, whatever it is, we're going to have great fun with it. And at the same time, respect Robert E. Howard's vision of Cull. And we want to do it in black and white. Fingers crossed that Red Dragon like it enough that they want to pick it up. But if not, we're going to do it anyway. So, and it'll be in the States, it'll be Arrow. So.
Oh wow, that's a challenge to write like new stories with a character that was written by Howard, right?
By someone as great as Howard.
Yeah. Welcome, by the way, Hero Darky Dark.
Hi, Dark.
He says this looks lit.
Thank you.
And Leroy says the campaign page does not do this justice.
Oh, thank you.
We're going to check out. We're going to check out the campaign page. In a minute. I'm not really that familiar with the Cull series. So were there more books besides the Shadow Kingdom?
Yes, he did other stories. It was, I can't remember, it was Strange Tales, or I can't remember exactly the name of the title that he was working. It was a magazine, and he basically did lots of stuff for them. And the first Conan story was actually a Cull story first. By my axe I rule, I think that's the
all right.
By this axe I rule, I think that's the name of the story. And so Cull is a bit more thoughtful than Conan. He's not quite as brash. He thinks a bit more before he does things, a bit more introspective. However, at the other end, he's extremely savage. He's like a berserker, and when he goes off into one, he doesn't care about his own safety. He's completely off the wire, as it were.
All right.
So he's a very interesting character. His connection with Brawl is extremely interesting, and Robert E. Howard as a writer is brilliant and has done so many things. He did Solomon Kane as well, Conan, Cull, but also things like he did like boxing, sport books. He did westerns, he did pirate books. He's done all kinds of stuff. The guy was, and he unfortunately committed suicide when he was very young.
He died very young. He did a lot.
He did a lot in
such
his
a
time.
young guy.
So, but there are, he effectively set the tone. The Shadow Kingdom was it's considered by a lot of people the first sword and sorcery book, certainly in USA. And it set the tone for so many other stories after it. And so he's a very admired, and quite rightly so, writer. He writes fantastic words. And his like I say, his wordsmanship it's beautiful. The prose is beautiful. The prose is in this book as well. So you get 70 pages of comic book of our sequential version of it, and then you get the actual story itself presented with illustrations in the book.
Right.
So you get a chance to look at both. And as much like yourself, comics are hugely important to me. They're hugely important to Randy. And I think they're a great medium. They're a great reading tool. They're the best storytelling medium as far as I'm concerned. And so to have the prose and the graphic novel all in one book, I think that's great for everybody to read. He's a great writer and some serious fans. I was on with Razorfist. Thank you. If you're out there watching this, Razorfist, last week. And he absolutely adores Robert E. Howard. I mean, he is a big fan. And he writes himself. Ghost of the Badland was his graphic novel, but he's also written multiple pulp books, which do very well. And he's done the foreword for us in this book. So there's his appreciation of Howard in the book as well.
Great.
So we're really, really proud of the package that we've put together.
That sounds awesome. All right. I think that's our cue to check out the campaign.
Yeah.
So let me.
We've already met our goal. Thank you to everyone.
Excellent.
By the way, we've already met our goal, but it would be great if we could hit, if we could hit 200 backers. That would mean that we could definitely move. It would make it easier for us to move on into the Atlantean, which is we're going to do it anyway. But you know what it's like. It's always easier if somebody pays you a few bucks more. So
sure, of course.
Obviously, we want the book out in as many people's hands as possible.
And share the joy, right?
Yeah.
The more the merrier.
Yeah.
Right. 148 backers. That's fantastic.
Yeah, we're really pleased with the way it's gone so far. Yeah. And I've got to send out an email to my email list next week again. I don't think that many people of my own email list have actually hit it yet. A few have, definitely, but not as many as I thought would. So I think there's some more in this. There's some more to get out of this.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Right. Okay. Shall we check out the trailer?
Yeah, it's short and sweet, but it's to the point.
Excellent.
In the time before Atlantis sank and the lands of the world were savage and untamed, one man would claim his destiny. Leaving his Atlantean tribe behind and throwing off the shackles of Lemurian bondage, he sailed the seas as a pirate captain before seizing his place as a king. And now that he has the throne, how long will he be able to keep it? This is the Shadow Kingdom, the classic sword and sorcery tale by Robert E. Howard, adapted by Randy Zimmerman, with artwork by Russ Leach. Available now at FundMyComic.com.
Okay.
That's it.
Great. Indeed.
That Randy's got a great radio voice as well.
Yeah, he does.
For our voiceovers.
Yes, that Stan Lee vibe, right?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. And I wanted to go to FundMyComic first as well. We may put out, which is what I was maybe talking about earlier, we may put out a second chance on Indiegogo.
Sure.
There's always going to be people that prefer to stay with certain platforms, and I wouldn't want those people to miss out. No. So we may well go for a short and sharp and sweet campaign on Indiegogo with maybe something special just for Indiegogo customers.
Oh, cool.
So we'll do that. It won't be a change of cover or anything like that. The book is what the book is. It is a special edition. The special edition effectively is for crowdfunding. It's a backer's book. So if this goes off to being published by someone else in the Western market, it won't be in the same format. You get a book that nobody else gets in the mainstream. And that's the way I like to do crowdfunding. You get something just a little bit unique. Okay, that's terrible. It is unique. I hate the word. I hate putting prerequisites on unique, and I've just done it myself. You get a unique thing, a unique crowdfunding thing. That's what you get. But so it'll be the same book, but there maybe will be a print or something that you get if you only pick it up on Indiegogo. So we will be doing that, but that will probably be where it stops, to be honest. And from there on out, it will be whether it will be published by whether we may get through, we may put it out with Arrow, because it's got Arrow on the top there, so that may end up going to Diamond in a slightly different format. But definitely Red Dragon will be publishing it in Brazil. So
that is awesome. That is awesome. So you said that the Shadow Kingdom, that's one book or one story, right?
Mm-hmm.
So and this is the complete story. So it's not like the first issue of multiple, right?
No, sets you up for our ideas of the Atlantean. It sets you up for that, but it's a complete story. You don't have to buy anything else.
Right. And you needed 110 pages to get the complete story done?
Yeah. 70 pages a strip, 26 pages of prose, the original story. There's an article in there, like I say, there's a foreword by Razorfist. There's a piece by Randy about what he feels about Robert E. Howard as well. And then there's some extra art as well, which I'm currently doing right now. So...
Wow. That's fantastic, man. What a fantastic project. So what is the reason that you wanted to adapt this story, but after this one you technically go your own way with the character, right?
Yeah.
Why not adapt other stories also?
First off, I'm a big sword and sorcery fan. I really like Cull. It's something that I've been picking. I haven't got any comics with me at the moment. There you go. There's some color ones. So this is the kind of coloring that we're looking at in this first book. Yeah, mm-hmm. Bronze Age stuff. So I absolutely love Conan. And at the same time, Cull was coming out when I was a kid as well. So I remember all that. Love all that stuff. Solomon Kane as well. So I'm a big fan. I was a big fan of Robert E. Howard before I even read that it was him that had come up with these characters. Mm-hmm. Then I read some books as well. So that's a big thing. Yeah. And then Randy is a huge fan, and we both love adventure. We both love the fact that books back in the Bronze Age were less focused on ideology and more focused on fun. Like adventure, having fun with the stories, and having impactful.
Right. It's not just the Bronze Age, but it's not that. It's not that long ago that comics focused on just being fun, being
exactly. It's not just
entertaining.
But that was something that affected me as a kid.
The
Conan stories, the Cull stories, they're adventure stories. They're pulp. And we need more of that. And it just so happened that Randy and I happened to be discussing it. And he said, "Oh, you do know these stories are in public domain now, don't you?" And I said, "No." And that was it. we just went off on one. I took the chance of doing it. Wow. Life was a bit weird at the time, as I mentioned to you before we came on air. And the opportunity presented itself. So I did it. I just did it. And whilst doing it, I found myself completely in love with it. So I just wanted to do more.
That's good.
And because I'd not actually read The Shadow Kingdom, I read The Shadow Kingdom and then obviously read Randy's script, drew it. And by the time I'd finished the book, I was basically saying to Randy, we need to do more of this. We need to take this character on. We need to move forward. And he said, "Yeah, okay," because he's got loads to do as well.
Yeah.
And he said, "Yeah, sure, we'll do that." And if it works out, then it may well be something that we get guest writers in for as well, because this is something we want to run for multiple books.
Right.
And I'd like to, from my perspective, I'm not into fame. I don't care whether people know who I am or not. But I'd really like to leave something behind, as in a body of work. And I'm getting on a bit now, so I want to get on with it.
Right, yeah.
And so I wanted a series. So I've done that with Only Death Can Save Us. We'll get those 3 out. And then if I can do this in black and white, which I love black and white work. If I could maybe do, like 4 or 5, whatever books, I would feel like I'd really done something, you know, I'd
Right.
achieved something. So it seemed like a good idea at the time.
Wow. Yeah, it's crazy. These things can start spontaneously, right? You just let's do this, and before you know it, you're deep into this project. And so the good thing is that you were working on it, and you had fun with it.
I enjoyed every minute. It was just
Excellent.
It was a challenge as well. But I'm up for the challenge all the time, and I thoroughly enjoyed doing it. So yeah.
So what were the biggest challenges with this story?
Oh, just first of all, I wasn't sure how I was going to approach it from a style perspective. And then also the biggest challenge is the fact that so many people associate Conan and Cull with at least one of my favorite artists. So you're standing on the shoulders of giants. You're up against an incredibly high benchmark, and that's pressure in its own right. So that was probably the biggest challenge. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Of course. It sounds like a challenge also to just convert the story to a script.
Randy did a great job.
Yeah.
I mean, he broke it down, but pretty much all of the text that you see in the boxes, in the bubbles or whatever, it's all Robert E. Howard. So he had to break that down and make it work, and interconnect it, and then break the panels down. And then also there are things in the panels which are described in the book which are specific, and we've put those in as well. So yeah, he's done a great job.
Oh, right. Yeah. You have to go by the descriptions within the book. Yeah. So it's really, really cool. Okay. Nice artwork.
And a word on FundMyComic as well. I mean, that was something that I felt I wanted to go with, because I wanted to support FundMyComic as a platform. I think it's a fabulous platform.
Yeah,
there's no gatekeeping. It's there for comic books, and I think it deserved that respect, which is why I went with it first.
It's for comic book fans, by comic book fans.
Definitely, yeah. And it deserves some bigger names coming to it. To be honest, it deserves to be supported.
Yeah. Did you do the colors, or is it someone else?
Yeah, I did the colors on this one. Yeah.
Okay.
So I approached it in the same way that I approached Only Death Can Save Us. Limited color palette, mostly flat with highlights and stuff, and you just let the inks do the heavy lifting.
Right. Yes. Beautiful. All right. Let me see. We have 148 backers. Guys, can we get to 150 during the stream? If you back, just let us know in the chat, and we'll have a little celebration. Because this book is just fantastic. The style is fantastic. If you know Russ Leach's style, you can see it right here. It's top notch. Looks fantastic. It's straight out of this classic style. It's so the paper. Do you also print on like not the modern glossy paper?
Oh no,
but
it's not on glossy. Much
right.
Like where are we? I think I've got it here. Much like Only Death Can Save Us.
Yeah.
We used an uncoated.
Yes.
Uncoated 100 GSM, I think it is. Not sure what the poundage is for that in American, but it's quite a light paper, just enough that you can't see. So it's just enough that you can't see through it. A nice slick cover.
Mm-hmm.
It
fits the style.
Fits the style. It also makes it cheaper to produce, to be honest.
Sure.
And I'm not a lover of glossy pages. I think if you're doing a presentation book like the big black and white one that you've done, or the one that I'm thinking of doing, I think glossy pages are lovely. You can see the black and white, and see how it works and all the rest of it. But when you've got heavy colours on a standard comic book size I'm just not a fan. It just doesn't do it for me.
Right. Leroy says, I'm going to Black Friday, debating between a sequential or splash page.
Man,
oh, wow.
Man.
Wow.
Yeah, Leroy is brilliant. And he was after something else as well. Only Death Can Save Us wise. So, yeah.
That would be great, Leroy. So, because you sell original pages, you have, let me see let's go through the perks quickly, right? So you have the main book, limited print run, for 25, 110 pages, guys. This is great. Yeah, cool. And then you have for 35, you get a full color print of the cover art.
That's right. Yeah, presentation print. I think it's on 250 or 300 GSM papers. They're lovely prints.
Beautiful. For $40, you get 2 black and white prints.
Yeah.
Along with the book.
That's the original cover in black and white, and also the working cover in black and white. That was the one on the right there. Was the what I originally produced for the cover, but it's gone to a print. It will be reproduced in the book. It's just not on the cover. you can actually see it. There you go.
It's this one. Yeah. Oh wow! So is this in the book also, or did you just?
It will be in the book, so you can see it in the book, and I'm going to reproduce it in the book in black and white, so people can see it. There you go.
Right. So you made this for the cover initially?
Initially, that was the cover, yeah. But then it ended up being this one.
What made you reconsider?
I went for something that was maybe more descriptive of the story. I like this one because it's got a girl on the cover.
Yep.
And it's lit well and it's good fun. But this one is probably a little bit more fitting. So I went with this one.
Okay. Yeah, these are decisions, man. These are decisions.
Yeah. I'm going for a different cover again for whatever we do next. I went with the color style on our cover for this one. But I may well, for moving forward with the Atlantean, I've spoken to a painter, and I may well be producing pencils and then having them painted.
Holy shit!
Either oils or acrylic, so that we get that kind of old Savage Sword of Conan magazine vibe.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do that, and then have the internal black and white. So.
Yeah. Ooh, that sounds beautiful.
Yeah, and he'll be able to. I mean, what we'll do is we'll just use I'll be able to use the printed version, but he'll have the original artwork, so he can sell it or do what he wants with it. So, that's how I'm keeping my prices down for people that come to me for page work. Is that I'm doing it traditionally, but they only get the digital version unless they pay more.
Yes. Yeah.
But it does mean that people get their books done for a good budget. And I get to keep the artwork. I was very fortunate to be able to sell all my Batman artwork recently. So I sold the whole thing as a package. So it's definitely worth having traditional work. And that's why I started doing it as well. So that I had assets that I could keep and sell later.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Plus, do you go to conventions? Or...
Do you know, I haven't been to one since August last year, but when I went last year, I did sell 3 pieces of artwork. So
all right. Yeah. When you sit there, people do prefer someone drawing with pencil and ink, right?
They like to
instead of this tablet. Yeah. Right. Okay, let's see. We had, so for $40 you get these 2 black and white, 2 beautiful black and white prints, and for $45 you get
2 books.
2 books. Okay.
Save on the post, same other book. So,
yeah.
There's cool. A few people. There's 10 backers.
Yeah, there's 10 backers for that.
Up on that. Yeah.
That's a good deal.
I did that with my Only Death Can Save Us books, and I know that some people bought them as reading and collecting as well, and then a few of them actually ended up on the open market, which I was chuffed about. Somebody would buy a second-hand version of it. I'm like, wow.
Yeah. Well, you know, oftentimes we have other friends that like comic books also, and you can buy two, and you can ship it together. You know, so why not, right? It's a good deal. Book plus sketch. Oh, you can get a sketch.
Yeah, get original piece of artwork for $100. It's A4, so it's just for our American friends. It's kind of magazine size.
Yeah.
It's just over the comic book size, and that will be in pen and ink.
It's this size.
Yeah,
this size. It's pretty big, by the way.
Yeah, it's magazine
compared to the comic style.
Yeah, it's like I don't know if I've got a magazine here. I suppose it's the difference between this and this. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
See the difference. It's a little bit bigger than this. But there you
go. Great stuff, man. So these are sketches that you will do specifically for the backer?
Yeah. So I'll either do a character out of the book, or if they want something specific, they just ask. I'll do it.
Okay.
No problem.
All right. You have 3 backers for that right now. Excellent. Get on this, guys. This is fantastic. And for $200, you get original page art.
That's right. Yeah. So one of these.
There we go.
That's the cover. I sold that. That's the next one.
Yeah, that's sold.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Look at that. You can get that, guys. That's beautiful.
So it's obviously the signed. And they're 200, and the I don't know if I've got another one. The next package down is the one that's slightly more expensive.
That's the original splash art.
Yeah.
So
that'll be like the stuff that I was showing you earlier, the dream sequences. It'll be those. Oh, and stuff like this. There you go. So that's a chapter head, and you can see it's got the lettering in the page itself. So
all right. Some good perspective work there.
Thank you. So what I'll do is obviously if whoever does that. So I've got I think 2 or 3 backers there on the original page art. I'll give them a list, and it's first come first served.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
They get their choice of artwork, which is what I did in Only Death as well, and that worked really well. People like that.
Yes, that's how it functions. Yeah, you send them the PDF and they can pick the page or something, right?
There's a special at the bottom where you get Glenn Fleming's painting as well.
Wait.
So the cover's gone, but this bottom one is the original cover, the production cover, the original art for that. Plus, I printed out some pencils and inks of the internal pages because we were playing with colours and bits and pieces, and Glenn painted them up in inks, and they're available as well as a whole package. So you can get those if you wanted to for $350. They're really nice actually, because some of that stuff is there was another potential cover done there, and we ended up using that for the internal cover for the pros. And Glenn did some great stuff for me in that.
Yeah, it looks nice here. It's really small, but what we can see looks good. Oh wow. Okay. There's something for everyone, guys. This looks fantastic. If you like sword and sorcery or sword and sandals, what would you call this?
Sword and sorcery.
Yeah.
Sword and sandals. Tits and dragons, I prefer.
Oh, tits and dragons. Yeah. Oh yeah, that was it. Leroy says right up there with Groken as my favorites.
Thank you.
He's referring to
He's
Only
not
Death
going
Can Save.
away. He's not going away. No, the 3rd book is being done, and I do have another trilogy of books in my mind. It's just about when he's coming back. I've just fallen in love with this stuff at the moment. But you know what us artists are like.
Yeah. Well, right. 148 backers. Guys, share out this campaign, please. Share it on your social media. Talk about this campaign. Let's help Russ get to, what did you say? 200 backers? That would be great.
It'd be great if we could get to 200. I would also consider it. I mean, at the moment, I consider it a success. I think we've done really well.
Of course.
I think, thank you, Leroy. There'll be a 149 at least before we get to the end of the campaign.
Phew, good.
So 150 is a great count for us mere mortals in the comic book industry, as against being one of the godlike creators out there. But if I could get to 200, that really would be a roaring success. And then, like I say, then it's going to be spread out. We're going to be looking at different places that we can get it out to the mainstream market.
Yeah, beautiful work.
Thank you,
Russ. So, guys, the link to all of this is in the description of this video also, plus other links to Russ's social media, your YouTube also. People can find there.
Just go to russleach.com.
Yes.
RUSSLEACH.com, russleach.com, and there you'll be able to sign up to my email list, which please do that, because I can keep everybody informed about the projects that are coming down the pike. And I don't stuff your inbox full of rubbish. It's once a month to get a newsletter. And then, of course, all the connections to Instagram, Twitter, and all that, they're all there on russleach.com.
Fantastic. Excellent. Thank you, Russ, for showing us your campaign.
Thank you for having me on, Dave. As ever, thank you. You do sterling work. Fantastic stuff.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much. Guys, before we leave you, I want to show you guys that the oh wait, I have to do it differently. I'm sorry. Remove stop screen. I'm such a boomer sometimes. Wait, then share the screen. I wanted to show you guys this because it's 1 hour. 1 hour left. You can get the Perfect 10 Deluxe hardcover artist edition. 134 pages right now. It says 130, but we added even more. So 134 pages hardcover. It's phenomenal work, guys. Look at this. You get to read along with the script. You get the layouts that Pow did. Then it gets filled in with inks, and you see the lettering. And finally, we also added the colored pages, so you can read the entire book. And it's all full bleed, so you can see the art beyond the bleed. You get some extra material also, like pin-ups and stuff like that. And if you want, you can get a head sketch, or Pow will even draw a character for you. So check it out. We also have original sequential pages. 1 hour left to go. And you can also sign up to Perfect 10 5, issue 5. The pre-launch page is active, and the link is in the description.
Do it.
Okay. All right. Russ, thanks.
Thank you
again for being my guest, man. This was fantastic.
Thanks for having me on.
And good luck with your campaign.
Thank you.
And special thanks to the chat, everyone watching us. Thank you so much. Without you, there's no point. So if you're watching from the replay, thank you. If you like the conversation, give it a like. If you didn't like the conversation, give it a dislike. And by the way, we need to ask Jens what he thought of this. So Jens, what do you think of the show?
Well, Dave, you do know this is supposed to be your show, but your guest just stole it from you. Good work.
Love Jens.
Thanks, Jens. Thank you so much. All right, guys, we'll be back next Sunday, same time, same channel, new guest. Hope to see you guys then. Bye-bye.
Okay, do svidania.